It all started when my cousin, Matt, decided to buy a house in upstate New York. It was this old, colonial-style home built in the early 1900s, 2 stories, creaky wooden floors, and a massive yard surrounded by dense forest. It looked peaceful, in a lonely kind of way. Matt had just gone through a divorce, and he wanted a fresh start away from the city. I helped him move in one weekend, and from the moment I stepped inside, I felt watched. The air was heavy, almost suffocating, but I brushed it off. Old houses always have weird energy, right? The first couple of days were fine. Matt kept sending me pictures of his renovation progress, freshly painted walls, new furniture, cleaned up yard. But then, late one night, he called me. His voice sounded uneasy. "Hey," he said, almost whispering. "The old houses ever make voices?" I laughed. "You mean noises?" "No, voices, like someone whispering your name when you're alone." I stopped laughing. "What are you talking about?" He told me that around 3 a.m. he'd woken up to what sounded like someone calling his name, softly, almost like a breath right next to his ear. But when he looked around, the room was empty. He tried to convince himself it was the wind, but the next night he heard it again, this time from the hallway. He said it was a woman's voice. A week later, I drove up to spend the weekend with him. When I got there, the house looked different. It was cleaner, yes, but something about it felt darker, like the air itself had thickened. That first night, we sat in the living room drinking beers and talking about random stuff. Around midnight, we both heard something upstairs, a slow, dragging sound. "Probably the pipes," Matt said, forcing a laugh. But then, we heard footsteps. Heavy, deliberate footsteps, moving from one end of the hallway to the other. We froze. Matt grabbed a flashlight and motioned for me to follow. We crept up the stairs, the wood creaking beneath us. The hallway was pitch black. He flicked on the flashlight, sweeping it across the floor. Nothing. Just as he turned to head back down, the flashlight flickered and died. And that's when we both heard it. A soft whisper from behind us. "Matt." It was a woman's voice, close, almost inside our ears. We spun around, but there was no one there. The light flickered back on for half a second, just long enough to catch something standing at the far end of the hall, pale, thin, wearing what looked like a long nightgown. And then she was gone. We didn't sleep that night. The next morning, Matt looked like hell. He hadn't slept in days. He said the voice came every night now, always around 3 a.m., always calling his name. He even set up cameras in his hallway and his bedroom to try and capture something. That evening, we checked the footage from the previous night. Most of it was static and normal house noise until around 3:12 a.m. You could hear faint footsteps approaching his bedroom door. Slow, dragging, then whispering. And just before the clip ended, the door handle turned by itself. That was enough for me. I told him we should get out of the house for a few days, but Matt insisted he wasn't leaving, not yet. He said he had found something weird while cleaning the basement earlier that week, a small wooden box buried behind the furnace. Inside were old letters and photographs. The photos were black and white, showing a woman in an old dress standing in front of the same house. Her face was scratched out in every single photo. The letters were from a man named Jonathan, talking about his beloved wife, Clara, and how she wouldn't stop watching him. The last letter simply said, "I can't live with her eyes anymore." That night, Matt insisted on setting up the cameras again, this time with motion detection and night vision. I stayed up with him until around 2 a.m., then crashed on the couch. When I woke up, the sun was just starting to rise, and Matt was gone. I ran upstairs and found his bedroom door wide open. The bed was empty, but the sheets were soaked, like something had been dragged across them. The only thing left behind was his phone, still recording.
The footage was shaky. At 3:04 a.m., you could see Matt sleeping. Then, the door slowly creaked open on its own. A shadow entered the room. A woman-shaped figure, translucent, her hair hanging in front of her face. She leaned over him, whispering something I couldn't make out. Matt stirred, opened his eyes, and then his body went stiff. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. The figure leaned closer until her face was right next to his. Then she vanished, and Matt's body was gone. Just gone. The police searched the property for days. No sign of him, no footprints, no struggle. Just his phone, the wet sheets, and that old box in the basement. They ruled it a disappearance, but I couldn't stop thinking about the footage, about how the figure leaned over him, like she was taking something. A week later, I got a package in the mail, no return address. Inside was a single photo, a black and white picture of the same woman from before, except this time, her face wasn't scratched out. It was Matt's. I burned the photo that night, but the image stayed burned in my mind. His pale eyes, his blank expression, and that faint smile, like he was watching me through the flames. I moved on, or at least I tried to. But 3 nights ago, at 3 a.m., I woke up to a sound coming from my hallway. It was the creak of old wood, slow, heavy footsteps, and then a whisper right next to my ear. "Hey, remember me?"